and welcome back. Today we did something exciting. I wasn't really planning on opening up my flower stand this weekend, but I ended up doing it anyways. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. However, I managed to just get an early jump to the day, so to speak. So I figured, why not just pick some hydrangeas. I did some zinnias, a little bit of my first year seedling dahlias, and I also had my lisianthus ready, and I didn't want those to go to waste. We are going to have a very rainy day on Sunday, and I didn't want all of those beautiful blooms to go to waste tomorrow, or I don't know, something to happen to them. So I decided, since I was up super early in the morning, let's just say maybe about 4:30 in the morning, I was like, I'll get a jump start. Once the sun peaks up, I am going to just start harvesting. My ideal timing would be to harvest everything the night before. That way I can get everything well hydrated and have a little bit more time to do everything. But since I did harvest things around 5 and 6 a.m., they still were able to hydrate well enough to go out at 9 a.m. So it was kind of a rush, last minute thing. I am very thankful though. I did wrap my mason jars earlier this week, so those were all done. I used some self-made stickers, and I also did some flower instructions in the vases as well. And also every mason jar did get a little packet of flower food. So unfortunately, I didn't get anything filmed with the process of me cutting or how I made the jars. I will do a little video on how I did wrap them, because I found it extremely difficult to find any type of video on how to wrap mason jars. I found one that I just tweaked a little bit. I do plan on doing wrapped bouquets once the stems get a little bit long enough. My hydrangeas are definitely long enough stem wise. I could wrap those if I wanted, but the lisianthus were pretty short, so a mason jar just worked really well since it was very last minute. And I don't have very many blooms right now. My giant zinnias I'm still waiting on, and my third planting of zinnias don't really have any buds yet. So the ones behind me, I technically call this my second planting. I did these all indoors. My first planting would be my winter sown milk jugs. Those are basically what I harvested this morning. I believe it was like an early bird mix that I purchased at a big box stores. My winter sown zinnias are thriving. I am definitely going to do more zinnias next year in hopes that I don't have to take up too much space under the grow lights. And for the ones behind me, they are just starting to bloom. I was able to get one of the ballerina zinnias from Johnny's, but my big giant ones, you can see the height difference, they are just starting to bloom. So the batch behind me, I did pinch, so that's why they're a little bit more delayed. My third round, where we did all of our zinnia sowing in the greenhouse, I did not pinch those, so they should be blooming pretty soon. My winter sown milk jug ones, I did pinch those. They were in my pepper bed. They were getting a lot more sun over there, so they did take off. They were fertilized regularly with all of my vegetables. I did a every Friday feeding of the Alaska fish fertilizer, and I kind of let the ball drop over here on my cut flower garden, but I have been keeping up with it and doing the fish fertilizer until I start seeing blooms, and then I have the more bloom that I will be fertilizing again every Friday or Saturday. It just kind of works out for my schedule because it does take a lot longer to hand water everything with the fertilizer. As I mentioned earlier, I did 6 mason jars, 2 of which were going to be a mix of anything from the zinnias. I had Rebecca in there, some marigolds. I did have one teddy bear sunflower that I added in, and I had some yarrow and some celosia. So it was like a nice mix of pinks, yellows, oranges, like those nice summer colors that I love. And then 4 of them were hydrangeas with my lisianthus. The lisianthus, I had some nice pinks and purples, so I tried to match those up. And I originally was going to put 3 hydrangeas per mason jar, but it didn't fill it out quite as much as I wanted to, so I did add a 4th one in instead of doing one just wrapped bouquet of hydrangeas, because I don't know about you, but I do love a good hydrangea vase of just my blue one. So these are going to be they're white now, but they are that quick fire, I believe. I had them all planted last year, so this is our second year in the ground at my property since we have purchased it. So I will show you right now some of pictures that I took of the arrangements that I made. Again, unfortunately, I didn't take any video. I got them done before I actually went to urgent care to get a strep test, because that is going around at home and in the classroom. So I am actually just very happy with what I was able to put out. I also collected 6 cucumbers this morning as well, and some fresh dill that I was just giving out for free, with some free marigold seeds, because let's be honest, I probably have like thousands and can't even give them away for free. So I thought that was a nice little incentive for someone to just grab those, and they can just plant them in their own garden as well. So seeing as this is my first year with the flower farm stand, I am just doing all of my wraps, bouquets, and mason jars at $10. I live in a nice quiet neighborhood. It is a busy street, but a lot of people do like to walk the neighborhood in the morning and at night. So right now that is just basically just word of mouth. I did post it on social media, and I also posted on my Facebook business page and my Instagram business account as well. And I also posted it on our community page. So I'm just hoping that once I get the ball rolling, it's kind of a little bit late into the year. I would love to be able to do spring blooms, but that will be for next year. That with word of mouth, I will be able to maybe get a little bit more of a client base. I did have one I know purchased earlier this morning, and I haven't really checked it since. I just got home from a quick doctor's appointment, and I just wanted to feel like I could just update you with my little game plan of trying to get this every Saturday, or at least every other Saturday. I'm still waiting on my dahlias to bloom. However, I was lucky that my first year dahlia seedlings were blooming, so I clipped a couple of those, and the best ones that looked well, I added those to the arrangement. So I don't really have too many focal flowers. I am waiting on my sunflowers and my dahlias, but the zinnias definitely carried me through, plus some of my Rebecca to add that nice pop of color for the summer. So here is what it looks like, what I had this morning. I will definitely be checking back in later tonight and see how everything goes, especially after the kids go to bed. We do have a lot of people, as I mentioned, walk by our street, so hopefully they'll see the sign, and then whatever's left over I'll bring in, and then I will just rehydrate them all over the night. I'll bring them into our bedroom. We do have a nice cool spot to put them in where the vent blows air, but I won't have them directly on the flowers because I don't want them to dry them out. But they'll just be underneath the table, but still around the cool part of our bedroom, and that way my cat won't eat them because he likes to eat everything. And then I'll put them back out tomorrow, whatever is left over. So I would say my goal for this weekend's flower farm stand to be open would be, I would be happy with 4 out of 6 of them selling. If the cucumbers don't sell, it's totally fine, because I know we will definitely eat them. We love a good fresh picked cucumber. But definitely hoping that the word of mouth will spread over the next few weeks. And whatever doesn't sell, I do want to bring one arrangement to the greenhouse down the street, because they're actually her hydrangeas that we got from her greenhouse last year when they were on sale. And I also purchased my Zenyas plants from there. They were on sale, and I love that flower. I heard they are extremely hard to germinate and grow from seed at home, which I want to try, because they're actually really expensive if you do buy plugs. But since they were on sale, I bought a bunch of them and put them in, and they were just stunning. I just love the different colors that I was able to get, 2 different pinks and a purple, or I guess technically they say it's blue. So if I have anything extra, I will definitely bring them to her so she can enjoy, because I am going to be planting some yarrow that I purchased from her today. So I think that will bring a nice little smile on her face. So I'll check back with you tonight with a little update, and then I'll also check back with you tomorrow and let you know how it went. 8:15 at night, so I apologize for how dark it is outside, but my kids are asleep. But I really wanted to come on and tell you how the flower stand did on day 1, which I am considering like a soft opening day type. We only had 6 arrangements, so not everything is in full bloom. I was lucky enough that some of my dahlia seedlings were also ready to go, and some Mexican sunflower. So those are kind of sprinkled in 2 jars. That is kind of like what I'm aiming for, is that nice bright pops of summer until my dahlias start to bloom. I'm usually just using my zinnias and celosia, but I really wanted to use my lisianthus, so I figured hydrangeas were great, and I have plenty of hydrangea blooms to go around. So with that being said, I had 6 jars out, and I also put out 10 cucumbers as well. And I did some free marigold seed packets because I have so many. So my 2 mixed bouquets went first. That consisted of the sunflowers and the zinnias and celosia and rudbeckia and all that little mixed in stuff with the little baby dahlias, seedlings. And then I had my 4 hydrangeas left. And then around, I would say 4 o'clock, I was down to 2 bouquets. And then around 6:45, 7, when we were going out, the last 2 were gone. So I'm happy to say that from day 1, we were completely sold out of all of my mason jar bouquets. I wrapped them. They had instruction cards on how to care for them. They also came with a packet of flower food for everybody. So I was very excited about that. I'm not sure when the next one will be opening, but I really am hoping with this warmer weather. And now that we are at the end of July, my dahlias really need to start taking off because I am just anxiously awaiting for them. So I'm very happy. And I also sold out of the 10 cucumbers. I only had 4 left, so I sold 6 cucumbers. So that was a total of $63, which consisted of $10 each for the mason jar, and then I did 2 for $1 for the cucumbers. So I am so happy about that. And the rest of the cucumbers will definitely be enjoyed by the family, and I still have plenty more to go around. So wrapping up our first time opening up that flower stand, I am absolutely thrilled. I did share it in our community page on Facebook, also my Facebook business page and my Instagram business page. And then I also put on Facebook Marketplace as well. And I just have some click-throughs, but no one responded. But just my little reel that I created had a lot of views between me sharing it, some family and friends also sharing it as well. So hopefully some of the social media presence also helps. So very excited, so happy to share, because it's gonna rain all day tomorrow. So I wasn't able to put any of the bouquets out probably until around like 5 p.m. or so, but we don't have to worry about that. So dang excited. So I just wanted to share. Now, before we lose like any type of lighting, go ahead and click like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I will see you all next time. Happy gardening. Bye.